Hi, I'm Carol. I teach level 2 at Vickery Meadow, and I'd like to work for a short time today on future continuous tense using page 116 in your textbook. And the title of this page is Will They Be Home This Evening? Before we begin on page 116, I'd like to go over the rule for forming the future continuous tense. It's formed with the verb will plus a form of the verb be and then a verb with ing added to it. You'll see the examples there. I will be reading or I'll be reading. He will be sewing or he'll be sewing. She will be ironing or she'll be ironing. We will be bathing the dog or will be bathing the dog. Let's practice a bit before we begin on the activity on page 116. Let's tell about the Williams family. Alice will be practicing the piano this evening. You repeat that. Tom will be doing his homework this evening. And you can repeat that. And Mr. and Mrs. Williams will be fixing their sink. Now, let's ask questions about these three examples. What will Alice be doing this evening? She'll be practicing the piano. Now, you ask a question about Tom and answer it, and ask a question about Mr. and Mrs. Williams and answer it. I just included the written examples of what we just did so you can go over them. Maybe you wrote them down yourself for practice, but you can read over these and just make sure you're doing the right thing. Before we begin the actual activities, let's go over some vocabulary. Some of these will be new and some may not be new. One word that's on this page is exercise. You know that word. It means to move around or to be active. The word knit, it has K-N at the beginning, but the K is silent. It means to use needles and yarn to make clothes. Another word to review is bathe. Bathe looks almost like the word bath, except it has an E on the end, and that makes the A say long A sound, and the E is silent. And that the word bathe is a verb meaning to take a bath. And then rearrange, you know that too. It means to change how things are put together. You can rearrange your notebook and put your papers in different order. You can rearrange your furniture to change how things are put together. Now let's get started on page 116. You'll see at the top of the page there's a blue box with examples of pronouns and the verb will, showing you how you would form the future continuous form. So please read over those, and then you have the question that shows you the format we'll be using. Will you be home this evening? Yes, I will. I'll be reading. I'll go over a couple of questions with you. For the first question, there's Amanda, and she's ironing. So you'll say, will Amanda be home this evening? Yes, she will. She'll be ironing. And you can go over examples 2 and 3 by yourselves, and then I'll be back with you to do the rest of the page. Now you'll continue the same format. You'll ask questions and answer them using the future continuous tense. So go ahead and do the examples, and if you can come up with your own example for number 9, then give it a try. I included some written examples of the first 4 questions in case you want to read over these, or maybe you have written them and you just want to compare. Now, I hope you finished all the rest of the items, and if you have time to write them, please do it. I hope you're doing well and finding a little bit of time each day to practice your English. Please go back and read over things that you've done in your workbook or in your textbook, and take a little bit of time to practice. I hope you're doing well. Keep taking care of yourselves.